Hi guys, before I get started in introducing what I'm doing next, this was what we did yesterday, the canvas out of a jelly print, and I had said that you could use modeling paste on the side with one of your favorite stencils. So that's what I did, and actually the stencil had some dilution sprays on it when I did this, so the dilution's color kind of transferred to the modeling paste, which I kind of like the effect that it left. So that's what it looks like on both sides. So that's an idea that you could use on the sides of your canvases, so that way you don't have, it gives it a little more oomph to it, a little more, I don't know, je ne sais quoi. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't seen it yet, go back and look at it. It's day 2 for this, and we're on to day 3. So thanks for watching. Grab something to drink, sit down and relax, and watch one of my videos. Bye. Enjoy. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Arts Collaboration here on YouTube. Day 3. Day 3. Yay. Okay. So today I'm going to show you how to make this little guy. It's an ATC, Artist Trading Cards. I'm sure you've heard of them. I'm kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. No pun intended. Accounts. If you want to follow me on Instagram, the link is posted up at the top. And if you're on a desktop computer, I'll post a link to my Instagram down at the bottom of the description box. But I do post a lot of pictures and things, and I trade artist trading cards on Instagram. And you're asking me, well, how do you do that? Well, there's a lot of artists on Instagram, and one of them, she started an ATC group last year, and you can, DM, which means direct message someone, and this year she direct messaged me before the end of 2015 and asked me if I would like to be involved in the artist trading group this year. She said she loves my art, she loves my artist trading cards, and so she decided to do themes. Now, some of them last year were themes, some of them weren't. Some of them were just, come up with whatever. And so this month's theme for January is birds. So I drew this little guy, and I'm going to show you how I did him, and how I painted him and everything, and how I put together this card. So we're going to get started. All right, and don't forget to search the hashtag the color of the year art. Okay, I know that's a long hashtag. Remember, we're doing the Pantone colors, the 2 colors of the year, which are, and I can't remember offhand because my brain doesn't hit the top floor sometimes, but I matched them up as close as I could with these 2 colors. And I'm going to be using my gelatos as well. Okay, so here are my gelatos. They are made by Faber-Castell, if you're wondering. Many of you who are into mixed media or art or scrapbooking know what the Faber-Castell brand is. So I'm going to be using that, and I'm going to be using one of my Pitt pens from Faber-Castell, which are Indian inks. So these are permanent, okay? And I'll show you along the other pieces I'll be using along the way. Now remember, where is it? Remember, day before yesterday, day 1, I did these pretty jelly printed papers using the colors of the year, okay? So I am going to get started. Enjoy the process, okay? And I'm going to talk through this one, so it's going to be kind of a lengthy video, so I hope you'll stick around and watch and grab some coffee, grab some tea, grab some tequila, wine, something to... Sorry, I get silly. Lack of sleep is what it is. Okay, So what I do with my artist trading cards, you could go out and buy the fancy schmancy artist trading cards that they sell in packages, and they're basically watercolor paper cut up. Now, most watercolor paper is pretty sturdy, but I like mine to be a little even more sturdier. So I cut out cereal boxes. Now, they're a lot sturdier. And when you're trading, don't trade with cheapy, very thin papers, because most artist trading card people or groups want good paper, because they want it to last. They're collecting your work of art, and you want to represent yourself well. So don't be chintzy, okay? So next thing is, I'm going to cut this to size, but first I'm just going to kind of guesstimate, and then I'll cut it to size after. What size? I was using this side, that's right. Okay, so I'm going to trace it on the back here. All right, so I'm going to quickly trace it out, and then I'll cut it out after, and then cut the edges off, whatever's overlapping. And I'm going to quickly cut this out. My other scissors. Of course, you know, I think I'm well prepared, and then not. All right, so I'm going to cut this out. I might speed through some of the parts of the video just while I'm cutting things, so I don't bore you to tears, which I want you to see my whole process today. And someone had mentioned in the jelly printing video, they commented that they wanted to see a slower flip through of the jelly printed papers. So I will do that. I will post that up along with this video. So look for that when you are searching for the hashtag love, or not love, the color of the year art. I'm thinking of last month's love fall art or winter art. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. Brain not hitting top floor. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I suffer from insomnia. So I spend a lot of nights when I don't feel like creating in the middle of the night. I will watch Netflix or watch YouTube videos, catch up on my favorite artists, because I too support my favorite artists by watching their videos. So don't forget to support those artists that are out there. They need all the support and help they can get, as well as me too. All right, so I'm just taking a advertisement. This is actually a cardboard card that Credit One sent me for Visa. Yeah. So I use it to kind of soften this out a little bit. It's got a little wrinkled, but I'm not too concerned because most of this will get covered up anyways, so it's not going to bother me much. All right, and then I'm going to flip it over. It's still wet, but I don't care because I'm going to cut the edges off here. Now, so I freehanded this basically. Well, I sketched it out first with pencil. Then I went over using one of the Faber-Castell Pitt pens in a thinner nib. And my suggestion is that you dry the ink to make sure it's completely dry, so that when you're applying paint, or usually it won't spread about with paint, but if you do water soluble and it's not quite dry, it will smear. But usually if it's completely dry, it will not smear. It won't move at all. Okay. And what I did was I sort of guesstimated the size of my ATC so that this would kind of stay within the measurements. But if it overlaps a little bit, I'm not concerned because I think it gives it a cute look. See? Okay, so I'm going to get started and show you how I made this. Okay, so we've put down our background, and I'm going to pause for a second so I can dry this off camera so you aren't. All right, So I bought a doily. They look like this when you buy them. Okay, and they come in little packages. You can find them at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And, you know, probably any hobby or crafting or art supply store you might find some. So I cut mine. I had used part of this one on this one. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. And I want to have it to go right about there because I don't want to cover the whole background. I want some of the background, you know, the jelly printed paper to show. Okay, so I'm going to cut off the edge right here, just like this. Alright, and then I save my scraps, I save everything, so this piece will probably be used in something else at a later date. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and apply this. You can use Mod Podge on this or matte medium. I'm using Deco Arts Decoupage Matte, which is a little bit stickier than like the napkin one. But it's okay for this because you want to protect, have a little more protection against the elements, and this will do it. Yeah, so I'm going to put this on. I want to make sure I've got enough of it on so that it sticks. Use this thing. Kind of came apart. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like this, and then I'm going to cut off the edges here. And now that I've got the front part kind of sticky, I'm going to have to pause for a second to dry it, and then I'll come right back. Alright, so I fussy cut the little guy out so you wouldn't have to be bored to tears while I'm cutting it out. Alright, so I'm going to use my Faber-Castell first. Okay, so I'm just going to come in and add some color around the bird. And then these are water soluble, but if you put paint over them, they're no longer water soluble. Okay, they become permanent because you've added something over it that's going to dry permanent. You could also use like a matte medium or whatever to make them permanent in the end, yeah. So I'm going to come in, I'm using the Blue Harbor. Okay, I'm going to come in with that first. I actually should have grabbed a smaller brush. We'll see how I do here with this. And if I went over the black drawing part, I'm not concerned because I am going to come back in anyhow and add, I'll outline it later. I am going to need a smaller brush. And I did trace this out onto watercolor paper, so it will hold up really well for any type of media I'm using. Now I'm going to come in with a lighter color. It's the lanyard blue. And what's left. There we go. Alright, so I came in with my black Posca pen, and you noticed on the bottom of this guy, he's kind of gray looking, because that was kind of a boo-boo, but then it turned out not to be a boo-boo, so you'll see what happened. I had taken some of the lighter lanyard color and it blended in with this wasn't quite dry, and so it added some kind of a grayish color to it, so I'm doing the same thing with this guy now. Making sure I'm in frame. And I will come back in and redo the lines, all the black lines and things, so there's nothing to worry about if you're wondering, oh no, she's covering up the tail. The wing. Now I'm going to use some Banana Cream by Americana for the beak and for the eye area. And I'm covering the eyeball that I already had done here, and I'm not worried about it because I'm going to come back in and re-add his eyeball. Her eyeball, because she's got pink on her. She's a pink bird. She's a pretty bird. Oops, I accidentally grabbed the pink. That happens sometimes when you're not looking at your colors. Yeah, you pick up the wrong one. Have you ever done that? Picked up the wrong color? Yeah, I've done that. Okay. Alright. I'm going to pause and I'll be right back to dry this all up. Nice and dry for now. Okay. And I'm going to come in with a little bit of white and add some white to some areas. Alright, now I'm going to come back in with the Posca pen and outline all the areas that need outlining. I might outline that with the Posca pen because it's too thin. I don't want to ruin that part there. Around the eyes, so I'm going to go in with the Posca pen like that. Okay, now for the eyeball. Where did I put, here it is, it's right in front of me, would have bit me, okay? And if you noticed, a lot of my pens are covered in paint. Looks okay. It looks okay. Sometimes things happen for a reason. And I'm just coming back in and kind of outlining the legs and the feet using the Faber-Castell Pitt pen in a very thin nib. This is like a, say small. This little guy is done. Alright, so I'm going to set him aside and let him dry a little more because what I did with this one, I did put matte medium over the top of him, but I did it after the little guy or the little girl was glued onto the ATC. Okay, sorry guys, I have issues with words coming to me. If you're new to my channel, you won't know that I suffer from a chronic pain issues, and because of it, part of the issues I have is having trouble speaking. The words sometimes are hard to find. Alright, so Next, I'm going to do work on the background here, okay? So first off, and I should have done this as I forgot to do before, was I meant to put this washi tape behind the card. Let me zoom out a little bit. Not in, out, in. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just add this on here, but I'm gonna guesstimate where I need to cut it at. So you'll see my guesstimations here. And that guesstimate is a word, by the way. Did you know that? It was put in the Webster's Dictionary sometime in the 90s, I think. All right. I should have put this behind it, and I didn't. That's not quite the way I wanted it. Let's see how it is. Nothing goes to waste. I put everything, any leftover pieces goes on my drop paper. So I got the washi tape down, okay. Next I'm going to do, I'm going to add some of this to my background, some gelatos, not jelly, gelatos. I'm thinking of jelly printing at the moment. So now I'm going to make this permanent by adding some decoupage matte medium over the top of this. Over and like that. So everything's dry. I've added some matte medium to the back of this, okay, and I'm gonna spread it around, and I need a bigger brush. I'm not going to put any matte medium over the top of this, so I'm going to let it sit for overnight so I don't ruin the top and smear it. I got to make sure that everything is kind of cured before I go over it again. I'm not worried about the legs because I used the Faber-Castell hip pens, which are permanent. But the Posca pens are water soluble, so you have to kind of be careful. Alright, so there we go. And I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. So now I'm going to take, where did that little, okay, so what I did was I bought a piano songbook from an antique shop, and I copied out a song out of that, and it says Songbirds. That's the one I want. And I had it already cut out from a separate one, and where did it go? Of course. You know, I have everything prepared, and then it disappears on me. And I'm sure it'll show up when I'm least expecting it. So anyways, I'm going to cut this one out then. I'm going to cut off the S because it's one bird, not two birds. And I'm going to add right about there. I think I'm going to add that little guy right there. Oh, I'm sorry guys. Somebody in the park. I live right along a park trail, and I have 3 dogs, and I hear a dog barking out in the back along the park trail. Somebody's walking their dog, and it's barking. So it set my dogs off. That was my dog Maya you heard. Alright, so I've got that. Now I got to find the music note I picked out. I have some music notes. I've got a punch that's a music note, and so now I'm going to pick out, oh, that one looks good there. Okay, so I'm going to use this music note. That was quick. I like it when it's fast and I don't have to dig through everything to look for a particular color. These were already punched out of some drop papers I used before, a long time ago, so I either punch my drop papers out into flowers, or I do other different shapes, and it really gives a good look to a art piece. So that's what it's going to look like. Alright, and next I'm going to glue on some roses here. Okay. Now my friend Gina Ahrens, and if you don't know her, check out her YouTube channel. Just search Gina Ahrens, and she gave me these flowers. We're friends, and she gave me these flowers last time I went to visit her. She lives about an hour and a half away from me, and so I visited her, and she visited me. Just so sweet. Overdue for a trip to see Gina. Okay, so I've done that. And that's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. ATC, putting together the ATC, and then later on we'll go back over with some matte medium on this one as well. So there you have it, and because they were hand-drawn, they're not the same size, but that's okay, right? They look about the same, and I have to make 6 more of these. So that's what I'll be doing at the end of today, finishing these off so they can get out in the mail. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to search that hashtag Color of the Year Art, and I'll post the link to my Instagram account down at the bottom if you're interested in looking. And thanks so much for watching, and come back for day 4 tomorrow I'll have something special for that, and look out for that flip through of the jelly printed papers, a slower flip through of that. So thanks again for watching, and I hope that you'll join me again tomorrow for the Creative Arts Collaboration event here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and all that jazz, and have a wonderful day. Bye. Toodles.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.